Hello, my hi-fi brethren and my real estate friends. Whether you are in Singapore or you are a foreigner watching from another country, welcome you to my channel. Alright, my name is Dave and today I want to talk about Singapore real estate situation because I'm a real estate agent, right, in Singapore. Alright, looking at this news, this is a news reported in Singapore about 2 days ago. So you look at this ABSD, right, just had to focus on this word ABSD, right, 44 and ABSD. So let me explain. ABSD meaning additional buyer stamp duty. So when we hear ABSD, right, as the name implies, buyer stamp duty. So we were thinking that only buyers like us, buyers of property, have to pay this ABSD. But actually, if you are a developer, a property developer, just like for example, for this condominium called the Cascaden Reserve beside Orchard Road. So that when the developer need to buy the land, right? Okay, so when they pay the land, they also have to pay 40%, extra 40%, it's called the ABSD. And if they are able to construct the condominium and sell every unit of them within 5 years, then they will have to, then they can receive this return of 35% of this 40% of ABSD from the government. Alright, so they only have to pay 5%. But if they cannot, then this 40% will belong to the government. Right, so it's it will be a very detrimental to their profit. So why this 44 residential project? Okay, it's all started on the a few days ago, right? In the Parliament, in the Singapore Parliament, there was one member of Parliament that actually questioned our Finance Minister, Mr. Lawrence Wong, about why the government give the extension to this Cascaden Reserve. But actually, the government didn't just give extension of sale to the Cascaden Reserve. All together, there are 44 residential projects that was granted the extension of sale by the government. Of course, there are more developers that actually go and make this request. But I think there's only 44 that was granted this green light, right, to extend their sales period. All right, and the reason the DPM Wong gave was because one of them is because of this COVID, right? So we know COVID actually delayed the construction. Another thing is the other factors are given as unforeseen circumstances. All right, of course they say they can't disclose because of something to do with the IRAS, right? So they can't disclose the actual reason. But I think the biggest reason, right, as from what I see as a real estate agent, I think if you are aware of the real estate situation in Singapore, the property market, you also know that just a few months ago, last year, our government actually introduced these extra cooling measures to cool down the property market. That is to introduce a 60% additional buyer stamp duty to foreign buyers. All right. So especially for this kind of high-end condominium, this is called Cascaden Reserve. Those are around Orchard Road, right? Usually the buyers are mostly foreigners, right? Of course, there's a mix of local and then a PR, right? But a lot of foreigners they're very interested in this kind of high-end properties. But when you slap this 60% buyer stamp duty, right, that's quite a lot. Because with this 60%, right, this extra 60%, you can actually use this money to buy another smaller condominium, right? So to me, right, this extension actually, I find that is a win-win situation. First of all, we don't put these developers right out of business. Right? I know some people think that developers make a lot of money, but then if let's say we are cause them to go out of business, then maybe more people will lose their job, okay, or something like that. There's a chain reaction. And then because of this extension, this grace period given, right, this project, right, I think most of the developers, most of them, maybe not all, will do a big discount, right, the slash prices, so that they can get their units moving, right, so that to avoid paying that full 40%. So take for example this Cascaden Reserve condo that is beside Orchard Road. The launch price, the PSF was, the cheapest was $3,600, right, and above. But now they are selling at $3,000 and a little bit more, right? And because of that, those who are actually watching the Singapore property market, whether they are local or foreigner, they have been coming to buy. So since it's one of my company's listing, And on my company app, I've been receiving update every day, how many units have moved, right? So this is doing well now, and there are some units left. Yeah, and this is considered the high-end property. And let's say for some of us, right, who do not want to buy this kind of high-end, maybe your budget or something, then you want to look at more mass market one, right? And there's one property that is called the Landmark. All right, I'm actually mentioning all these property names, right? I'm not going to mention all of them because they are not published on the newspaper. I think it's not fair to list them down and because we have to be fair to the developer also, right? Okay, I only mentioned to you what's mentioned on the newspaper, right, on this Straits Time. So the other one is the Landmark, called the Landmark. This situated along Chin Swee Road, right? And for that property, for the condominium, if you want to get a one-bedder, right, it's about $1 million plus. If you want to get a two-bedroom, right, and above, it's close to $2 million. Right? Then you can get a two-bedroom and then even a three-bedroom. Right, I think the biggest unit there is actually three-bedroom. So for that Landmark, right, it's really, really good for rental. Why? Because you are in between the Chinatown and then the Robertson Walk, the Singapore River, and this is very, very near to the CBD. So your tenant profile will be better, and also you can command that place. Those property over there can command a higher rental price. All right. Of course, this Kensington Reserve, I mean, don't have to mention this is Orchard Road, of course the rental is very high. And the other one, let's say you're looking for super huge property, and let's say you're a foreigner, right? Foreigner, you can't really buy landed property in Singapore unless you get approval from the government. And most of the time, you buy properties in Sentosa. There's 5,000 square feet and above, even 7,000 square feet, and even 9,000 plus square feet, right? There's this property called the Delphi House. It's situated along Bukit Timah, beside Stevens MRT station. So that side you have all the good schools, and for that area, I think if you are to rent out, right, then those people who kind of rent the property are those who really super can afford those like $10,000-$20,000 rental per month. But I foresee that many people will be buying there to stay there because that site is really, really true privacy. All right, it's just opposite this YMCA, the Metropolitan. All right, so these are just some of the units that some of the projects that I can mention. And let's say you are interested to find out more, you want to take advantage of the low price now, right? Because they are slashing prices to move their units, right? Let's say you want to find out more about this 44 residential project, or you have any question regarding Singapore property, you can WhatsApp me or you can WeChat me, right, through WeChat, and you can ask me in whatever area that you have some question, maybe on buying for own staying, buying for rental, then you know how to all these taxes, involving taxes and stamp duty, right? So again, my name is Dave, real estate agent, and I also do hi-fi review. That's why I see all these things. All right, so I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.